Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And this video is one of those that goes into that drawer that we call You Couldn't Make It Up. This is about Alison Bailey and her continuing case against Stonewall and her employers, Garden Chambers. She's the barrister, and she's alleging discrimination because of her views on trans people. Well, the case has been going on for a couple of weeks now, and various people have given evidence and whatever. But today they had to take a break. Well, you're just never going to believe it. Let's have a look at this article. So here's the article, and as you see, it's Mail Online. Stonewall Tribunal is paused so head of trans inclusion can have his mother and support dog with him as he gives evidence against J.K. Rowling's friend Alison Bailey. You're in a courtroom setting here. You've got some serious people, and you're called to give evidence as your so-called expert, because you're the head of trans inclusion. You're the expert and whatever, and you can't do your job. You cannot give evidence. You cannot tell people. It's your damn job. Without mummy and little furry pal. Need my fur baby and my mummy. You need to grow up. But anyway, we'll carry on with this. Alison Bailey claims that Stonewall convinced her employer to investigate her. Miss Bailey argues there is a conflict between gay people and transgender people, and we know this, there certainly is. Sexuality, if you're gay or lesbian or bi, like that is a sexuality, that's an attraction issue, whereas transgender is a mental issue. She is suing Stonewall and Garden Court Chambers, alleging discrimination. Stonewall witnesses delayed trial after requesting emotional support from dog. Now, the moment he requests that, anything he says is suspect. So this is actually good news for Alison, because you've now got someone who basically has to ask his dog before he can answer the question. That person is obviously mentally unwell, and they need to seek some help. But you couldn't make this up. So Stonewall's tribunal was paused so the charity's head of trans inclusion could have his mother and support dog present to give evidence against J.K. Rowling's friend Alison Bailey. Kieran Medcalf, when you do this to a child and you call them names like Kieran, you know how it's going to end out, don't you? 34, head of trans inclusion at Stonewall, that awful organisation, delayed the online hearing on Tuesday after failing to tell the court he required special arrangements to give evidence. He's such a soy boy. Would you like to answer the question? No, I don't have a dog. Please. Stonewall's barrister Ijeoma Omenbala, QC, told the tribunal that Mr. Medcalf should have periodic breaks and a support person with him, including his dog, because he's an inadequate soy boy, an inadequate human being. And if he's so inadequate, why are they asking him to give evidence? Ben Cooper, QC, representing Miss Bailey, accused Stonewall of blindsiding the court after failing to give notice of Mr. Medcalf's special needs. I won't say extra needs, they're special needs. This is someone with special needs. He also said it was not proper for such an adjustment at the 11th hour, considering other witnesses had their specific requests pre-approved. Judge Goodman said she was disappointed the attendance of additional people had not been mentioned in advance, and paused the tribunal for a few moments so the cameras could be adjusted to include Mr. Medcalf's mother, support person and dog. My God. Mr. Cooper added, this is all new information. Ms. Bailey claims the LGBTQP charity convinced her employer, Garden Court Chambers, I'll keep that there for a moment, Garden Court Chambers to investigate her support of gender critical beliefs and is suing both the charity and the Chambers for discrimination. Here's a picture of Kieran Metcalf. And before I put this up, yes, it's exactly what you expect. Were you expecting anything else? I wasn't. And that is the head of trans inclusion. I wonder if it was born male. And there's the pair in question. Very supportive of JK and her fight. Very supportive of Alison and her fight to define trans as a mental issue and not to be included with gay and lesbian. Anyway, the lawyer, who herself is a lesbian, founded the LGB Alliance Group in 2019, which argues there is a conflict between the rights of lesbian, gay and bisexual people and transgender people, and opposes many of Stonewall's policies, including the assertion that trans women are women, because it's patently obvious that trans women are men. She claims to have lost work and income due to GCC's involvement, that's Garden Court Chambers, her employer, with Stonewall's Diversity Champion scheme, which she said was exclusive and discriminatory of her beliefs. Ms Bailey has previously received backing from Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who tweeted a picture of her inspirational friend to mark Lesbian Visibility Week last month, sparking a trans row on social media. And we have covered that in a previous video. That it really did annoy the trans people, which is no bad thing. And of course you've got to support her in this, because she is right. There is a hell of a difference between the sexuality and the mental condition of transgenderism, because if you are gay you can still like the body you're in, whereas if you're transgender you don't, and you never can, because no matter what you do to it, no matter how you dress it, how you make up it, how you chop bits off and insert other bits, you never change your sex. Stonewall had recommended GCC change the pronouns she and he to they and their, which I would find offensive. I'm a he. I don't want to be a they or a her or a she or a their or an it or them. I'm a he. But I don't need my pronouns beside my name. I find having to put pronouns back there, I find that offensive. So what of my rights, Stonewall? What of my rights? Oh, that's right. You don't care. You have a gender. Last week, Ms Bailey began giving evidence on Wednesday, but a row broke out with Ijeoma Omambala, QC, Stonewall's barrister, who was cross-examining her. The judge in the case had to intervene an hour into the hearing when Ms Bailey accused Stonewall's barrister of making fun of her with a colleague. She said, "Ms Omambala, I'm not going to be bullied by you," to which she replied, "I'm here to ask questions and in cross-examination. I'm not here to bully you or anyone else." Judge Sarah Goodman then asked Ms Bailey if she would prefer that the camera for the virtual hearing was zoomed out so she could see the full Stonewall legal team as she gave evidence. On May the 5th, Ms Bailey told the Employment Tribunal the fact that Stonewall considered sex language unacceptable and to be replaced by gender-neutral language had wider implications for me within GCC. She said the charity used its scheme to embed the concept of gender identity within government departments and the voluntary sector in a way that was outside the law. Ms Bailey went on, Stonewall and its Diversity Champion scheme would be exclusive of me. It declared people with my views as being hateful and bigoted. They declared an intention to discriminate against lesbians like me. Ijeoma Omambala QC, Stonewall's barrister, told the tribunal, "Nothing that this tribunal has seen thus far from Stonewall describes you or anyone else like you as hateful, does it?" She then questioned Ms Bailey on how the chambers were supposedly induced by the charity. Ms Bailey said, "Once we had signed up as an organisation to Stonewall's Diversity Champion scheme, all of the chambers were being induced to follow the objectives of Stonewall. Stonewall is an almost criminal organisation that uses threats to get its own way. It extorts money by threats. If you don't pay us lots and lots of money for us to come in here and give you a plaque on the wall saying you're Stonewall secured, we'll tell everyone you're not, and then you'll lose business because you're a hate organisation." And that's what they do. And that's along the lines of the mafia and petty little car people. You know the sort, the kids. "Nice car, mister. Shame if anything happened to it while you're away." and they demand £5 off you. A £5? God, I'm showing me age. Ms. Bailey went on to say, as I have just indicated, the inducement that Stonewall offers with its scheme is reputational protection or reputational harm. It is like a criminal protection racket. And the trial continues, and I will stop here, come up and round off the video. When you're threatened with a loss of livelihood and your good name is going to be dragged through the mud, and all because you failed to bow down to some jumped up little pipsqueak who says, oh no, we're in the moral right, if you don't do this we'll drag you down, you got to bend to our will because we've got an agenda. The correct procedure, of course, is to tell them to go off. So Stonewall, go off. You know what I'm saying? Bow to none. Maintain your dignity. You don't call yourself they because some bunch of weirdos tell you to. You don't call yourself an it or them because people with mental illness cannot handle the fact that you're male or female because they can't handle the fact that they are insert gender of choice. You ignore them. Or if you're feeling generous, you phone up a psychiatrist and send them on their merry way. But for the likes of Stonewall, this hideous, horrible organisation fronted by an absolute toad of a man, they are little different than a criminal organisation offering protection for money. And the sooner people see this and tell them, actually, thanks, now off, the sooner life will improve for everyone. The trial continues, as I say, and I shall keep an eye on it, and any interesting stuff I shall bring and enlighten, promulgate, and widely throw up for your consumption. And of course, in order to get that consumption, it would be really helpful if you haven't already hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications and leave a like and leave a comment. And until next time, dear friends, stay safe, stay well, keep an emotional support dog close at hand, and goodbye.